G'day and welcome to this week's video. My name's Robert Gowdy from Consortium Private Wealth, and we thought we'd go through a bit of a discussion around estate planning. Not the most exciting topic, but a very important one nonetheless, considering that over 50% of the Australian population do not have a current will or a will at all. So, and obviously wills are just one part of the documents that you need, and it's really going to affect, if you don't have a will and you pass away, it affects the cost to administer the will, the time it takes to get the job done, and also where the money goes afterwards. So having a will can be a very simple and not an overly expensive document to put together. But we're going to go through the 5 areas that we think people should be considering, and we also recommend that you absolutely get advice from a lawyer or solicitor rather than getting a will kit at, say, the post office. Something is better than nothing, but there's a lot of complexities with these, particularly when there's lots more assets and lots of entities. For younger people, obviously they're clearly notorious for not having these types of estate planning in place because of clearly we're going to last forever. Well, that's the mentality back then. But you also might think that you just don't have enough assets to warrant it. Well, I think it's worth considering as soon as we get a job, we get a super fund, more than likely there are life insurance within those policies, so there is something there. And a quick shout out to Microsoft. Yeah, this is a pretty cool template that I found on PowerPoint. Yeah, I reckon it's pretty cool. So let's jump in and check out the 5 essential points that you need to get right when we're considering estate planning. So will, basic document, I said they don't have to be expensive, and if they're a simple will, they're generally not. Quite often the solicitor will make more money at the estate end of it rather than the front end of creation of the will. Next document is enduring power of attorney, so who can act if you're unable to, and that can be as simple as you're overseas on holidays. It doesn't have to be a health crisis, a coma or nursing home scenario. You can simply just not be in the country and someone can do things on your behalf. Appointment of medical treatment decision maker. So this is where you're giving someone the ability to obviously make a call if you're out of action due to a serious medical event. So definitely a coma or something where you just can't speak for yourself. This person will be there to make the decisions on your behalf. So I think it's really important that if you've got the medical treatment decision maker document and you've got someone there, it's important that you give them some direction. So a advanced medical care directive or document like that will give people an idea of what your values are, what you would accept as a fulfilled life or a life that you would be happy with. If you're unwell and can't speak for yourself. So this document can provide some of the direction that your medical treatment decision maker would base their decisions on. So I think whilst having the medical treatment decision maker document is really important, I think without having the medical care directive would be sort of flying blind for the decision maker. So in my view, you need both documents. The other one that can be overlooked and is simple to execute is binding death nomination. So I mentioned earlier that you may not have a huge amount of investments within your super, but there may be quite a bit of life insurance. So your binding death nomination stipulates where that money is to go to. It is binding on the trustee of the super fund. There are non-binding options, but if you want clarity, a binding death nomination is the way to go. It needs to be witnessed by 2 people that are not the beneficiaries listed in the nomination. So there are 5 things that we think are really important to have. We are really going to upskill ourselves to make sure all our advisors have a clear understanding of each of these documents and make sure that all our clients have the option and know what's available. And I don't think it's just something that you need prior to moving into a nursing home or old age. Who knows what's ahead of us? And I think it's important to have these things in place at any age. So yeah, I hope that's valuable. Not the most exciting and positive topic going around. I'd prefer to talk about Microsoft and their innovations that we've clearly seen today. What an amazing business. But yeah, make sure you get your estate planning right, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for listening.